Another day, another thought. Welcome out to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Hope everyone's doing well. As you guys know, I'm RJ here together with my co-host KR. KR, what's up, man?
What's up, everyone?
Yes. Thanks to everyone that's watching this pre-recorded live show, as well, of course, those watching the rebroadcast. We have a good one for you today, so we hope you enjoy this show.
If you missed it earlier, guys, a couple of hours before we posted a previous show, another show about Michael Irvin. So don't forget to check that one out as well. We talked quite extensively about the whole situation and how it probably will end for Michael versus Marriott. But during this show, we're going to talk about, as you can see in the thumbnail, Pat. This is the part two of the doubleheader of today. If you want to continue watching, don't forget to subscribe. Press as well. While you're subscribing, press as well on the notification button so you know when we are posting new clips and also new videos, new lives. Remember to follow us on all socials, Instagram, Facebook. Like the show. It helps us with the algorithm and the recommendations. We're trying to spread the word over here.
Yes, the gospel.
Yes, sir. And you can be part of the group who helps us spread the word. Not only by pressing the like button, but you can also do that by sharing the video with your friends, families, acquaintances, a random person you see on the streets. Or you can distract your enemies with those videos so you can strike them out on top of the head.
Okay.
RJ, I think that
Don't
remark
RJ me.
might fall. Huh?
Don't RJ me, man.
Please save me. Save me. Just in case. Brett thinks I'm talking about him.
guys, guys.
It's a
Um,
disclaimer that's coming up next. Everything
yeah,
I said falls also under this following disclaimer.
yes, guys. Before we proceed, the disclaimer, as KR said, the views and opinions expressed in this show, at least in the videos and articles we show in our shows, do not necessarily reflect the thoughts and opinions of the Double Touch Show. Remember that Double Touch Show, KR nor myself. Remember that viewer discretion is advised, and all topic we discuss is alleged because we don't know anything around here. We discuss everything for entertainment purposes only. Remember as well that for the purpose of this show, we do not function as any kind of advisor. So if you're looking for a life advisor, financial advisor, legal advisor, or any other advisor to help you in a particular area of your life and or your business, we strongly urge you to seek out the assistance of the respective professionals in the fields in which you require assistance.
Yes, sir. You heard it, Brett. This is solely for you. Everything is alleged. So we don't have to keep saying allegedly.
Uh,
We're not a,
le-
we're not a stuck tape or a stuck vinyl.
yeah. Well, Pat McAfee said that they used allegedly all the time. I don't think this will stop him.
Wow, dude.
I think Brett Favre has shown us that throughout his career that he
Wait,
never give.
wait, wait. Keep that one. Keep your thoughts. I know where you're going. Keep your thoughts for yourself before, so we can start the show.
Para do show.
Today's show is about Brett Favre. And what is Brett Favre always do RJ? Tell me.
Brett Favre always persists. Brett Favre's never gives up. Not even when he Should. Exhibit A.
Oh my god. This is how that discovery is gonna go, guys. Oh my god. So today's show. Oh my god. Yo, exhibit A. This dude says exhibit A. Yo,
Bruh.
show is
Wow,
about Bret
dude.
Favre not knowing when to quit or what the meaning of quitting is. Quitting while you're ahead.
Well, he
Or about I cannot. It has to do with going, the opposite of going. He doesn't do this.
I
If
thought
you're not
I thought
going, okay. You guys know
I thought you
a legend.
I thought you were because you said he doesn't know how to quit when he's ahead, and I thought you were gonna do a play on words. He doesn't know when to quit when he doesn't get ahead.
Hey, he doesn't know, man. Shout out to Brett. As long as he's not trying to pull us into this case, because everything is not. Let's start before I continue. The remark we just made has everything to do with this headline I just read. So, Brett, if you're trying to sue anyone, has everything to do with this headline. It says Bret Favre was sexually harassing creep before alleged robbing Mississippi's poor. I don't know anything about what you were doing in bathrooms. I was just referring to this article right here. It's a Daily Beast article. You can find it on the YouTube. Oh no, on Google. Talking craziness. But anyway, guys, yeah. Today's show is about Brett being persistent in his case, in the case of suing Pat McAfee. Not long ago, we dropped a video about this case. It was in the week of Super Bowl when this happened. Pat McAfee got a warning, or at least from the lawyer, from Brett's lawyer. They warned him that he was gonna get sued, and he went online and talked about it during the Radio Row week before the Super Bowl, and we covered that before. It was a good clip, pretty well watched. 2K, almost 2K people, and a lot of people commented on the fact that whether they are looking for like Donald Pratt. Let me zoom in a little bit. Donald Pratt says, I wonder if Favre realizes how much he opens up his private affairs to public scrutiny with a lawsuit like this. There's a lot of stuff that Pat's lawyers can get dragged, that the Pat's lawyers can drag into the discovery. A lot of people have mentioned this in the comments about the discovery, RJ.
Yes. Well, everything has to do with the discovery, right? And that's where the information. That's basically the basis of the case. So you have facts and you have legal facts, and the facts are strictly what happened. So you need to piece that back together. What happened as it pertains to the specific case. So in this case, it's pertaining to the alleged defamation that Brett Favre is claiming. And of course, they will throw a lot of things. I mean, Brett Favre, he's been mentioned a couple of times in scandals. The question is whether there is enough there to reach a conclusion. But what also plays a role in this case is that both Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee are journalists. And journalists usually have more, and I know what you're going to say. Pat McAfee doesn't look like a journalist.
That's what journalists say about him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that because I like him. I watch his show.
Yeah, it's entertaining for sure.
Well, he's a journalist. Whether it's a typical or traditional way, maybe you can discuss that, but he's reporting.
Yeah.
Technically, we are almost journalists as well. Almost.
Oh, we are.
Oh, we are. Okay.
We are journalists.
Okay, make sure you hear that as well, Brett. Open your ears, man. I'm not trying to say you're deaf, but you're definitely tone deaf, allegedly.
According to sources.
According to the beep in my head.
But it's we need to see what happens there, right? We need to see whether or not so how the judge will see the case, but the discovery is very important. And of course, both Shannon Sharpe's and Pat McAfee's lawyers will throw everything, basically dig up dirt to throw in the case. Now, the question is what Brett Favre is actually alleging. So to what specific information? The allegations. If, for example, someone has been found guilty in 3 cases. So I'm saying a person has been found guilty in 3 cases. That doesn't mean that when something arises, let's say a new case arises, that you can automatically say he's guilty for the 4th one too. So we need to see exactly what Brett Favre is claiming. Because that's basically the scope of the case. That would be the scope of the case.
Of this case, in that case.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is what it is. Discovery will be very interesting. It's a question whether Brett's lawyer want to get to that stage, because if the discovery starts, can they ask questions about his his previous encounters which he had to settle? Sexual encounters.
But the question, so that's what I'm saying, it's whether it's relevant or not. And if it's not a part of the case, then it would fall outside of the scope. And Shannon Sharpe's case, I know he said on the show that he's tired of hearing Brett Favre stories because it seems like he's always involved in scandals. In his case, for example, he can say, hey, but actually, look at this. I have this proof, I have that proof, I have this proof, I have that proof. They settled in all the cases, but these were all allegations. So he can, so it's the way you word it, you know? But if you say, oh, he's guilty, he's a thief, I know he's guilty, you know, if you say that, I don't believe neither Shannon Sharpe nor Pat McAfee did it. It's irrelevant. It would be irrelevant. Or at least if they talk like that, no, apologies. If they talk like that, if they express themselves like that, then of course, it would be reckless. But I don't think they were reckless. And if I was Shannon Sharpe, I would sue Fox because they were the one who came with the story.
Can you ask him during the discovery, Brett, do you like Deshaun Watson?
Who are your favorite current players?
Well, is he your favorite? Is it because he also has, just like you, previous allegations of massage therapists?
Yeah.
Is that the reason why he's your favorite one? Oh, just kidding, guys. But that's going to be a good question, whether they will let it go that far, because there's also questions about the texts that were being sent during that period of, let's say, Brett trying to get more funding for his projects.
Yeah.
Those texts were revealed through the media. Those texts were part of articles. But if they start asking questions about those texts, and he starts stuttering,
Yeah. He might pull a classic Brett Favre move. Because he doesn't know when to quit. You would start strong. And catch arrows in the knee as the case continues. Let's hope he can stop earlier and not proceed like Amber Heard did.
gonna get your L, man. He might get your L.
Yeah.
Because it was last Monday when Pat McAfee show returned. Pat revealed that the day before the show, someone knocked on the door or pressed the bell. I don't have the knock on the door anymore. In my
Oh, you took it out?
I threw it out. FBI, open up. No, I'm just kidding. Pat McAfee confirmed that he had officially been served by Brett Favre after accusing him of stealing from the poor people in Mississippi. And that was during the 77 million welfare fraud scheme. It took a while.
Wait, could you go back? Could you go back? Back? You can't go black.
Go black.
Can you go back as well? Look at the Daily Mail flex.
You mean the
3 weeks?
3 weeks after the Daily Mail first broke the story?
Daily Mail. If I were you, I wouldn't talk too loudly because word on the street is Pat Favre is looking for a come up to pay the no.
He'll step on anyone's neck.
Yeah. Some would say not us, but some would say to pay the poor people back. Not us, because we we need to wait until we have a verdict. But some people would say he's looking for the money to pay the poor people back.
Or he's willing to step on anyone's neck for a dime.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
Possibly.
Oh man. But yeah, he now Pat got served. I guess if I had to guess, I'm not sure if because one thing I think is remarkable, Pat has been talking about this openly. Other people in the case, I mean the auditor, also talked quite wildly. Last show we talked about this. We also listened to a part where Pat was referring to the auditor, who said he could have used the money to pay back the poor instead of paying a lawyer.
Yeah.
The auditor was wilded out, guys. The auditor was wilded out. But to bring it back to this case, or at least this part of the case, I haven't heard anything at all from someone you mentioned before, Shannon.
No. He's quiet. Because he has lawyers.
Or
Yes, lawyers.
The lawyer said you can go the route Pat is going. Or
There's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the up.
Yeah.
they told him to keep it quiet. You remarked about the lawyer, RJ, because last time around when we talked about this, Pat said he didn't have a lawyer and he wasn't trying to get one at that moment. What was your, can you maybe repeat or maybe say something about that situation? Hindsight. You mentioned it during that broadcast as well, but what is your opinion in that case? Can you
Yeah.
repeat it so people can...
Yeah, so I say, so I'm a lawyer myself, but I do not practice in the United States. But the lawyer, it's always wise to have a lawyer when you're going to court. The reason is very simple. The lawyer, when you're going to court, you need to realize that you're going to play a game, and the game has its own rules. And if you do not, you can be just like, let's say, soccer or football or basketball. You can be a very good athlete, but if you do not know the rules, you will make mistakes and you will lose unnecessarily. So it's good to have someone that knows the rules. It's good to have someone to represent you that has experience, practical experience, because the law books are completely different than when you're actually practicing law. So the theory is very different. So you need to have someone with the experience. And I expressed my sentiment in the last show. So in the previous show in which we discussed this topic, that it would be wise, highly recommendable even for Pat McAfee to have lawyers to represent him. Because, I mean, if you look at their show, they're having fun, man. They're having so much fun. But there are people out there looking for a come up. And when you talk wild things, you open yourself up for lawsuits. Do I believe that he said something that was so bad, so disproportionately bad, that it warranted the case? I don't think so. But it doesn't matter if you did it or not. You just need to avoid as much as possible to put yourself in a situation where people can use things against you simply because you don't know the rules. That's basically what I said in the previous show.
Yeah. And if you want to go deeper, guys, it's show number 23.
Yeah.
It's a big show about both the previous topic we talked about today, Michael Irvin, and we also talk about the initial beginnings and the first remarks, the first reaction from Pat towards the lawsuit by Brett. Talking about laws. Brett has sued or has started the case in Mississippi. The slander case in Mississippi. And Mississippi has, of course, defamation laws. So let's take a look at that defamation laws, the defamation laws in Mississippi. RJ, can you
Yeah.
share some thoughts on this?
Yes, yes, yes. So just gonna read it real quick. Under Mississippi law, defamation, libel, and slander refer to communications that are intended to harm the business or reputation of the person who is targeted. For a court to find that a party has been defamed, the communication must be disclosed to another person without your knowledge or consent. In the simplest terms, libel and slander are two separate forms of defamation based on whether the false disparaging statements are verbal or printed. Libel is a false, malicious statement in photo, signs, writing, or other written material. Slander is essentially the same type of false, disparaging statement that is communicated to a third person verbally. You see a lot of criteria. So we can dissect it. The most important things, it needs to be intended to harm the business or reputation of the person who is targeted. So we have to see whether the criterion, the criterion intention comes into play. Intention doesn't always mean that you need to prove that they wanted to cause the person harm, but it can also mean that you are intention. It's a different kind of. It's like an implied intention. If you act so recklessly that you implicitly knew that there was a risk of someone's reputation getting damaged and you decided to do it anyway. The reason why it's that ample is very simple. It's very difficult to prove intention. Just like when you have a knife and you start waving it around and you harm someone by accident, you didn't mean to harm that person. But by swinging the knife around, you knew that there was a chance that the knife could reach somebody and that could cause harm to that person. Right? So that's the first important part, intention. Let's go back to the text to see what other important criteria there is to that, let's say it's word talking about. It says that the communication must be disclosed to another person without that person's knowledge or consent. Well, in this case, it was spread around in the person's knowledge or consent, right? However, I'll say this again. Both Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee are reporters. And their daily lives, they have to report on relevant news. Brett Favre is a legend as it pertains to football. And when something happens off the field, they would still discuss it because they do consider it sport related. Both Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee commented on something that was said, that was published in other sources, news articles. It wasn't, they weren't the ones telling the story. They were the ones reacting to the story. So it's not like they went on an interview just to talk about this. They talk about different things, and one of the topics they touched on was this. So that's why I said that news, or at least journalists, have more leniency as it pertains to what they can say, as it pertains to their opinions that they can express. And that's why the criteria I just read, you're not allowed to share it without the person's consent or knowledge. It's still a criteria, but you would take it with less seriousness because their job is to talk about things without people's consent, newsworthy information. And finally, this is not on the, so let's say the defamation, so this does have to do with defamation. They weren't the one publishing the story. They were the ones, again, reacting to the story. So I think what Brett Favre should have done was go after the news, the media outlets that broke the story in the first place.
The source.
The source. That would be the logical thing to do because everything else follows from that story. And those two aren't the only ones who talked about it.
That's also a thing. What if the source is ESPN? He wants to work later with ESPN.
Who?
I'm just saying, hypothetically.
Yeah.
What if that source that he has to sue is ESPN and he wants to later on work with ESPN as a broadcaster? I guess that's why you would sue these guys.
Yeah. Well, we know why he wouldn't sue the NFL Network. Doesn't want to get Michael Irvin out here, and he did nothing. But okay, we're not saying that you did something, Brett Favre. But
It's all alleged.
it's all alleged. But yeah, so. But yeah, you make a good point. So of course it's strategic, but you're going after two people who express their opinion. And one thing that I'm wondering, I don't know how that is what the parties agreed upon, but I'm wondering whether the networks have a deal with the individual journalists in cases like these. Whether they would, for example, cover certain damages, lawyer fees, etc. Why do I say this? Very simply, in the case of Shannon Sharpe, at least, he just goes to work and they present him with a story and he reacts.
Yeah, that is true.
Now you can say, yeah, the network can say, yeah, but we just present the story. He's the one that's responsible for what for his reactions. I'm saying I've heard Stephen A. Smith say a lot of things.
So some would grant him to get people get violent towards him.
It seems like he's only
violence, guys, but
yeah, it seems like he's only initiating cases against people that beat him in football. Maybe he has a vendetta or something. I don't know.
Hey,
So-
man.
Yeah, it baffles me.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're trying to wrap your mind around what is the end goal of this, because at the end of the day, if this proceeds as it's been proceeding, you might get into the discovery, and then the plot thickens, as they say,
Yeah.
because then they can. Is that Brett calling?
No, but it is important.
Give me a second. Do you have to pick it up?
Yeah, I have to.
Okay. So, guys, it is it's a very big question. You got to ask yourself is if where this is going, because at the end of the day, like we said, when they start asking questions about what happened in the past, or maybe things that even happened in this case, they start asking questions about the text messages, because don't forget these text messages have been sent during. There've been some quite some wild text messages, and even Pat reported on it. I mean, reacted to these text messages. Let me share my screen with you guys. I'm gonna watch a couple of these seconds of Pat reporting on these messages.
Paid in full, and like the school has those funds, and that wasn't the case. So they were kind of just like stringing them along.
This is, by the way, the Pat McAfee show, and they are basically talking, like I said, about those text messages.
And every once in a while, it hit a snag, and he'd be like, "Hey, I need another fucking $2 million so we can break ground on this thing again." They'd give it to him, and it was just like, not a great deal for Brett.
Jeez, I did see he's promoting the Hallow app though to pray with him.
It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna fucking hit him with a, boom. We're gonna talk.
Brain is mush.
Yes.
Probably told his wife, like, "Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna start saying some outlandish shit on Sirius."
Wait till
worry.
they hear this one. I had 400 concussions.
They're gonna ask me about the NFL. I'm gonna fucking hit them with a, boom. We're gonna talk about Yemen today, okay? And what's going on over there?
It's genius.
Is he the ambassador for the World Cup?
Should
Yes.
be.
Well,
Yeah. Send him to Qatar.
I don't know what the fine's going to be that Brett Favre's going to have to pay. There's no way they put him in jail for this.
No, definitely not. I saw him and the governor. I don't think are facing anything like that. But a lot of the other people involved, like, oh yeah, not good, not good. FBI's getting involved.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brett shouldn't have fucking stole from the people, Brett.
Yeah, I believe Southern Miss is ranked like 16th in women's, 1A volleyball this year though. So
Good.
Well, they used to play with no nets.
It's not for nothing.
How much money do you need for the volleyball? No offense, volleyball. I played volleyball. I love the sport of volleyball. I love everything about it. It's like millions and millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're gonna build him a facility.
Yeah, brand new facility. Big part of it too is that I think it's in like the state bylaws or something like that. Southern Miss, like they can't start any projects on, and that wasn't the case. So they were kind of just like stringing him along, and every once in a while it hit a snag, and he'd be like, "Hey, I need another fucking $2 million so we can break ground on this thing again." They'd give it to him, and it was just like, not a great deal for Brett.
Jeez, I did see he's promoting the Hallow app though to pray with him.
Really?
Let's go.
He is.
I don't know if the speaking gigs thing were ever a thing. I think that was an attempt to be a cover up for this story never to make.
So it's said in that as well that a big part of it, like when they were like talking about like needing money or not having money, be like, well, I could just do a couple fucking radio spots and you can take whatever I would have, made and just give it directly towards this thing. So it was almost like
Some sweat equity.
yeah, pretty much.
Smart. And he's gonna say that he didn't know where the money was coming from.
Exactly. Already.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Yep. His lawyer said, "Hey, Brett has been nothing but upstanding in this whole fucking situation." Okay, he had no idea where the money was coming from. And then all the text messages came out, of him kind of just
knowing exactly what's coming out of the welfare.
Yeah, just like very actively checking on the situation, like with this one specific aide who, it just
Did they subpoena
deliberately
phones?
deliberately asking if there's any way that the media can find out where this came from and how
Yeah.
it happened.
yeah, like
The media
Oh,
has
no.
found out.
right. She said,
Sure.
"No, we
Wow,
never
you might
disclose
have
this
been.
stuff to the public."
How
ever."
would text get out?
I mean, it seems like they're reporting.
And reacting.
They're reporting and reacting on stories.
And the text messages. That's
Yeah.
what I was talking about before this, but when you left to talk to Brett to settle the case.
Brett heard that we were recording the show.
Get us into this stuff, man.
Yeah,
Don't
but
do
you
it,
know,
Brett. You're gonna cry. like you lost the Super Bowl. I was basically saying that those text messages, that's going to be an interesting topic to talk about during the discovery, because according to what they are saying, these text messages were pretty wild.
Yeah.
Him asking, is the media going to find out?
But
That's like saying, are the cops going to find, allegedly, are the cops going to find out?
or is my wife going to find out? I think
Hey, I
I
don't
think-
care if the girlfriend finds out, right?
I think that again, we have to look at the remember that this is a defamation case. This is not a case. The case isn't about whether he actually did it or not, because that's a different case, right? The case that that's a different case that Brett Favre is involved in. This case is whether or not Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee have committed acts of defamation against him. So because of their reactions, because of what they said. So all we have to look at, so the most important question is whether they were talking nonsensical all over the place, or whether they were, let's say, what they were saying was reasonable considering the information they had. And I believe, I don't see anything wrong with what they're saying. I believe that they should be found innocent, or at least it's not an innocent or guilty case, because it's not a criminal case, but they should be, the judge should refuse to give Brett Favre his claims, to honor his claims.
Before I go to the next video, I just wanted to say this. How can you damage a character that's allegedly already damaged? Let's continue. It has nothing to do with this case. I'm just throwing words together.
In general.
Yeah.
In
Let's see what Pat's reaction was to him being served.
Been served by Brett Favre. Came back from Hawaii to Indiana on Saturday, slept, woke up on Sunday, lady at my front door.
On Sunday.
I'm not gonna say it. Open up, FBI. I'm gonna say that on Sunday. Yes.
Open the door. I am so sorry. I am a fan of the show. I just worked for a company that was hired. These are for you. My dog.
Even the person serving. Brett, what are you doing, dude? You're really stacking the odds against you. Nobody's gonna like you after this.
Yeah, no, but the people's service just doing their job. So
Yeah, it is what it is. You gotta do your job, otherwise you cannot feed your kids.
yeah.
But Pat is a very likable guy. A lot of people like Pat, and by doing this, you're putting yourself. Just send them an email that you want to go on the show and talk about this and settle this for all times. You get your name cleared. You're doing too much.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
What's the end goal? Is the end goal filling the pockets of your lawyers? Are they gassing you up? They're putting too much gas in your tank. Now you think you can win somehow?
Well, if it is a way to get money, then you should go for the sure win. You shouldn't go more in debt pursuing a case where you have very little chance to win.
Let's continue.
dogs. I told him fucking sicker. She wants to bankrupt us. This is what she's working for the Brett Favre team. She was not serving me the papers. It's officially official. I have been sued by Brett Favre. Here we go.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The only thing you should be serving on Sundays is the Lord. Okay.
Amen. Should
Well
be serving
said.
Hell
papers.
yeah.
Well said.
Amen, Tony.
And I've learned a lot about these Southern folks. I watched those Murdoch documentaries on Netflix, and I guess there's one on HBO Max. I'll tell you what, some of those powerful old Southern.
Are there, by the way, this is the first time I'm hearing this. Are there Murdoch documentaries on Netflix and HBO?
There is one on Netflix for sure. I don't know if
Is it
they're
about
mo-
this case? Or about the family?
Murdoch. I didn't watch the documentary, but there is a documentary.
Oh, shoot. I might have to take a look at that.
Yeah, there is one. Yeah.
End of a dynasty. What an end. What a way to end.
What a way to go.
Oh, this is worse than ending of the Pats.
Whites are some real fucking gems, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
I got those papers from Brett.
True.
Did he sign those?
He's Lord, dude. And I also have Brett's address now.
Okay.
You know, from that thing, I was thinking about sending him a letter, you know, writing a handwritten letter to
Dear
him.
Mr. Falk.
Dear Brett.
Yeah, sure.
Dear
Would you advise them to do that?
No,
Lawyer?
this guy. You really need a lawyer. Just talk to a lawyer. Don't follow. Just talk to a lawyer.
Okay.
I mean, I would say you have to follow the lawyer's advice, but at the minimum, just, you know, occasionally just talk to your lawyer.
Well, he's just saying that he wants to do it. Doesn't mean that he's going to do it.
He shouldn't even say it. That's what I'm saying. You shouldn't even be saying. You shouldn't even be. You shouldn't even be saying it.
Or should he be quite like a church mouse, like
Shannon Sharpe.
Shannon?
I think that's the best thing to do, just to avoid making matters worse. I mean, I mean, by talking about it, you will only make it worse. It won't get better by talking about it, because what he's being accused of already.
Proud out of it.
But what he's being accused of already happened.
Mhm.
If you keep talking and you do something wrong, they can add things to the case, perhaps. So I wouldn't do it for that reason. It doesn't help with anything.
Dear Brett.
Please read this with a Southern accent.
Just what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
If you think about that, the other people, and I've done a lot of reading on this whole thing while I was in Hawaii, and it seems like he had, like, I don't, nothing's a slam dunk, I guess, especially in Mississippi, which I heard is tough to go into. And we will obviously be, you know, looking for a little fair. I mean, there's a lot of things that could take place here. But the other people in the lawsuit that I'm in, state auditor, okay? We as a program, if the state auditor is listen, I don't know Shad, I believe his name is Shad White.
Yep.
But if the state auditor is saying something, we're not allowed to say, like, hey, about
talk about the news.
I don't know how, I don't fully comprehend how any of it has happened. I've reached out to a lot of different law people. I've talked to a lot of different law people. I'm going to have to hire a lawyer because there's so much fucking shit that goes in it, which I don't love about the American process.
Yeah, get yourself a lawyer.
Stop it. Get some help.
He might have listened to you, RJ. He might have saw your previous show clip.
Yeah, probably not, but
Probably not. But let me promote the show, man. What the heck are you doing? Dear RJ, what the heck are you doing?
yeah.
But yeah, he's talking to lawyers, as he should. Apparently, according to you, he's not talking enough to lawyers. But
so I mean, the lawyers can only provide you with advice, but you're the one that needs to follow it. And yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be talking about the case. Just let the lawyers fight it out.
okay.
that somebody can just file a fugazi lawsuit against somebody. Now I automatically, okay, I have to hire this lawyer. I have to go through this whole process, but I have to. I'm going to have to do that because how much is going into it and what could potentially take place. It's money, whatever. I've been broke before. Lawyer said he's going to bankrupt me, and I'll learn my lesson if he bankrupts me. Okay, pal.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
All right, whatever. I mean,
This is what it says. By the way, he said that on the what's the show of the
Which one?
what's that show with the beef? He had the beef with Patrick.
Roland Martin.
No, the other.
Oh, Jason Whitlock.
Yeah, during that interview, he said he's gonna bankrupt. He's gonna bankrupt Pat. Jason Whitlock. During that interview, he interviewed Jason interviewed the lawyer. And he said, "I'm gonna bankrupt Pat." So
Well,
he learns his lessons.
let's see.
So wild statement.
But it's crazy as well because I mean we are living in a woke culture, in a cancel culture. But if you're not allowed to comment on news articles, then what's the point of talking, man? You can't say anything anymore.
And it's a slippery slope, right?
Very slippery. Very
Because
slippery.
if you cannot react, what's next? You cannot publish anything. Because in hindsight, it might be wrong.
Yeah.
Brett. Doesn't know when to stop or how to stop.
Doesn't know how to probably. His car probably doesn't have a brake. He always crashes, just like his career.
Crash dummy. he's been a crash dummy in the league and outside. Allegedly.
Alleged.
Let me put that in there. Just in case. But, oh, man.
I mean, whatever you want to do, but I don't understand how we were the ones chosen for this particular lawsuit. But I will continue to reiterate, excited to see how it all goes.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about it. And I don't know if that's a normal feeling that people get whenever they get sued, but I'm like actually intrigued on how
This process.
the whole
Yeah.
like I take everything as like a chance to learn. Like I'll probably tell the story someday to somebody like, oh, there was this one time Brett sued me, Mississippi court. We moved it obviously to a federal court. Then I had to go in there, testify. They said this, I said that. I got deposed. I got deposed. This whole, like, I enjoy these types of situations. I don't understand though how any of it will work for them. I don't know how
From his point of view, yo, you can roll it while I'm watching this. I'm thinking like you can make a documentary. The road to the case, to the lawsuit in Mississippi, how we talk to lawyers, maybe some cam action, some video, can release a book. Even if he loses, he can maybe talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
On his own show, which gets more viewers. What are you doing, Brett? What the heck are you doing?
Yeah.
He can even go on there and say, I'm sorry. And people will go on the. It's sad. It's
Very
sad to see Brett go out like this.
Yeah. But again, he's shown you that he doesn't know when to quit. We don't know. We don't know for certain. We don't know for certain. Let's be honest. We don't know for certain if he won't try to make another comeback in the NFL. So
XFL, Brad, maybe XFL is something better for you right now, man. I want to see you. I want to see you do a.
As informer.
Is it too early? I don't want to see you do it. The Mal Hamlin on the field. Is it too early? Is it too early? Guys, let me know in the comments if that's too early right now. I mean, it's already been a half a year, so that's what it is.
Has it? No, it hasn't.
For me, I cannot count. 1, 3, 4, 6. 6 months. Anyway, let's continue.
I understand. I might be wrong, but I don't.
A lot of reports, a lot of other coverage about it. You know, we watched the documentary kind of on it on
Yeah, we did
HBO, and
with Real Sports with Brian
There's-
Gumbel.
There's allegedly text messages and stuff.
No, yeah. But that's, yes, of course. But I'm just saying the whole thought behind it. I don't know how this takes place
No.
or how it even gets to the point of where it's at with us. I don't know what Shannon said. I have no idea
I
what
don't either.
Shannon.
Right.
Shannon's doing the same shit as us though. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
seeing
exactly.
the same stuff as us. So I haven't looked into what they all said. But like the state auditor, I'm not. He's already been like, if the state auditor is reporting something and we're a program that reports news, especially when it comes to football, Packers, quarterbacks.
Yeah.
All-time great.
I don't know how we're. So that's why I haven't really stressed this much because I don't know the laws
Mhm.
inside and out. But for
In this case, ignorance might be bliss.
Yeah. I'm trying to see where to which media platform the Pat McAfee show is associated with or tied to. Because they entered into a big deal, right? Was it with
Yeah, it's with FanDuel. The
With
big deal with
FanDuel?
FanDuel. That's
I
a
thought he had or was it him personally that had
Personal.
a
personal.
well,
Well,
what
they have a that's a good question because they were showing up as a group during some college ESPN, I think. But I don't know if they have
ESPN,
I don't know if they have a group deal as a Pat McAfee show or solo commentators. It's a good question. While you're searching, I will continue playing the video.
yeah.
everything I looked up, I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
I think we're in a pretty good spot in this whole thing. And I think Discovery is a part of the whole thing.
Well, that's what makes no sense. Is there's been a lot
None
of
of
stuff
it makes sense.
that's already been discovered. Like, if really, you just think that if anything is going to happen, like he's kind of opening himself
Yes.
up for like
For discovery.
Further.
like because
It makes no sense at all.
At first, when you got this, I thought it might be like hey, like, you know, just give me a chance to kind of like you can hear my side, like, you know,
have not heard it.
but it's not that. It's, hey, this guy is maliciously saying bullshit that isn't true, which again, just reporting on stuff that has already been reported by people who are way more enmeshed in the situation than we could ever be. And it's like, that's not the case. It's not like hey, you know, this is all one big misunderstanding. And I just kind of want to clear things up so that we can get on the same page. It's
Bankrupt me.
yeah, exactly. It's, hey, you're full of shit. You're saying shit that's not true. You know you're saying shit that's not true. And now you're going to pay, which kind of makes no sense.
It doesn't. You know, I'm excited to see how it works out. They got
Brett is going out here. Crash dummy. He's gonna crash.
Yeah.
Even if he wins. You might get
So-
some pennies, but at the end.
I saw that there's a link between ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
From what I gather, ESPN falls under Disney, and Disney also has Fox. And it seems like he is going against, maybe it's by accident, but he's going against people who work on let's say under the same umbrella companies. Maybe that's also a specific move to go against Fox, because Fox also falls under Disney. So it's like you're going against the host on Fox and a host of ESPN. Both companies or both shows fall under, or both companies fall under Disney. So maybe that could play a role as well. I don't know.
No, don't know. I guess we'll know in the discovery. Brett, tell us now. How many concussions you've had?
Be like Pat. Don't look for a lawyer. Just talk.
Your lawyer is outside parking his car. Start talking now.
Yeah, you have the right. Just start talking.
We're not recording. Click.
Oh, this red button right here?
It only means that it's pointing towards you. It doesn't mean anything.
It means we're not recording.
Allegedly. Let's see what else. Let's
Gotta know something that we don't, I guess.
Have to.
Or they don't. And
Just know that, I know that particular lawyer has represented people in the past that are very powerful.
that's right.
And I know he's from New York and they
Mhm.
filed in Mississippi.
Yep.
I have reached out to pretty powerful
Yeah. Get a feel.
lawyers as well,
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch how the joust works.
We'll
And
see. See if he can handle Edgar Snyder.
that's right. Attorney Edgar Snyder, you don't pay unless we get money for you.
Boom.
That's not who we're hiring. But
Damn.
Edgar Snyder was a dog. We're not hiring the jackhammer either, who does the
Who
auto
was it?
insurance.
Oh yeah, Greg.
the
Greg
Jack-
Hammer.
Jack-
Edgar
Jack-
Snyder was the Joe DiNardo of the Pittsburgh area.
of lawyers.
Of lawyers,
Yeah. It was
Oh,
like
Barry Feinstein. That's who
That-
we had in Massachusetts.
slip, fall,
Bingo.
Mhm.
call.
It's your money.
He's actually
Boom.
the official lawyer of the Pittsburgh Steelers too. He's a dog.
Edgar Snyder's.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I should call him.
Holy shit. Yeah. Hold on. Hold the
I haven't
phone.
added him to the list. We got some other power players.
Yeah.
I was gonna
I didn't know
say.
Edgar Snyder was for
Oh, yeah.
real.
Another guy you could ask too. I bet Jim Irsay might have
No, there's a lot of First Amendment
rights.
Lawyers.
lawyers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like those are the people who
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. I do believe I know what Shannon said, and it is much different as to how we covered it as well.
Yeah. So I don't.
Exactly.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, blinders.
I like Shannon. I'm a big fan of. We are big fans
Yeah.
of
Love
Shannon
Shannon.
Sharpe. With that being said, like whatever he's got going on, he's got going. They chose not to address it. We chose right here. I mean,
Yeah.
just got served yesterday doing a whole breakdown of how we were so flustered and confused by it. But that's why I spent some of my vacation, not all of it.
No.
But I did have a little bit of anxiety about it. Whenever the guy said he was going to bankrupt me, I'm like, oh fuck. Oh,
Come for blood.
It's interesting.
I got 13 employees. I got 2 new babies. I got people fucking. I got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Got houses being built and purchased and lives being built. Hold on, bankrupt. Oh, that's a lot of pressure here. I mean, let's not. I got my entire family on the pay. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot there. And I started looking into it, scrolling.
What do I got?
What
Worry
the
about?
fuck?
Come on.
All right,
Outta here.
we'll move on.
Yeah.
He's got some big names. He's looking for the big hitters, the judges. Pun intended.
He's looking for. You should look for the. Oh no, those are other cases. I was gonna say you should look for the. What's the QB's name? Steelers QB,
Which one?
the former one, the legend.
Oh, you mean what's this guy? I know his name.
Like a German last name.
Yeah, Roethlisberger.
Big Ben.
Big Ben.
He needs Big Ben.
Roethlisberger.
Big Ben's lawyer, Deshaun Watson's lawyer. But as I was naming the players, I was like, oh no, these are other cases. These are other kinds of cases. Yeah. But hey, let's see, man.
Let's see how it ends. I mean, I mean, quite a choice, Brett. Quite a choice. Let's see how it ends. We will keep following you, and we will keep reporting on this crash quest. I hope it all ends well for everyone.
Let's see.
Let's see. Okay, guys. I think we can always say, imagine, who can you depose? Who else can you depose? Are they only going to depose Are they only going to depose Brett, or are there other people that they can depose? They can pull into this case. RJ, one last thing, one last question from my side. Is there someone they can say they can pull into this to have him say,
I've seen him do it.
And with they, are you referring to the defense?
yes, Pat? Is there someone they can depose that just can say,
I've seen him do it.
Yeah, but then they would need to know the specifics of the case.
"Hmm,
And the point is, if let's say there's another case ongoing, just an example, if there was a case and he was found innocent, then he was found innocent, and that person gave his testimony, and the judge still found him innocent, for example, then he's innocent. So I don't know if they have anyone, and whether it's, I don't, in this case, all they have to do is play defense, because the burden of proof
oh, that
lies,
is true. Yes, you're right on that one. This is defamation case. I
the
keep
burden, yeah,
thinking it's a criminal case, but
yeah, the burden of proof lies on Brett Favre. I mean, and so far, and like I said I said it in the Michael Irving show, the ones making the claim should motivate their claim, and they have easily motivated it, saying, "Hey, we were reporting on articles, news articles, and news broadcasts about this topic. It's not like we didn't pull it out our ass. It was really just reporting on something that was already there. And now that they have proven that, it's Brett Favre will try to convince the court, or his lawyers at least,
of
convince the
himself.
court that they went over himself, that they overstepped their boundaries. They went over the line with their comments. Well, good luck.
Sayonara. With that being said, guys, I think the conclusion, RJ, can you
Well,
give us a recap of this whole quagmire with Brett Favre?
yes. So to give a quick recap, in today's show, we talked about the ongoing case between Brett Favre on the one hand and Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharpe on the other hand. Just to be clear, these are two individual cases. So it's one case between Brett Favre and Pat McAfee. The other one is between Brett Favre and Shannon Sharpe. We saw that just recently Brett Favre actually served, or let them serve what's his name, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee now so it's official, they are going to court. Pat McAfee is still relaxed, but as he said, he's relaxed, but I think it's beginning to it's getting real for him. I mean, going to court, trust me, it's not something that is lightly, or at least it's not something that can be taken lightly. You can't underestimate the amount of pressure it can cause on a person. Thank God Pat said that he would hire a lawyer. We can assume that Shannon Sharpe already has a lawyer because he's been quiet. Let's see how Pat McAfee will react. But nonetheless, he's going to be playing defense. It's good that he has lawyers, but they should protect themselves. He should protect himself as much as possible. From the footage we saw, it didn't really seem like they said something wrong. They were literally reporting on the case, referring to sources. So it's not clear to me why Brett Favre singled singled out Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharpe.
And
So
the
probably and
well, the auditor I could understand because he released
yeah,
the statement.
yeah.
Shannon Sharpe, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm referring. So we're talking about this. Why I'm sticking to these two.
Okay, you're sticking.
Why we would go after them if it's not for clout, but there has to be a strategic reason, whatever that may be.
Inverse cloud, maybe.
No, maybe he's eyeing a NFL comeback again. But yeah, I mean, I guess time will tell. We will definitely keep you guys up to date with the developments. This is the second show of today's doubleheader show. If you haven't caught the first show, that was the show that show relates to that show is about the developments in the Michael Irving case versus Marriott and his accuser. This is the second show. You can see similarities, but you can also see differences. Nonetheless, you can expect that we here on the Double Touch Show will keep an eye on the developments, and you can be sure that as soon as something newsworthy happens, we will definitely make a show about it to comment on the topic. I think this is something that will be going on for months, if not years. It can drag out for years, but I think if they settle, you can probably expect them doing so more at the end of the year, because there are a lot of formalities. That's if they settle. Of course, they can choose to keep to go to court, and if the hearings are live, guys, we will be live to comment on the trial. Did I miss out on anything, KaiR?
No, I think you covered it pretty well.
Thank you. And a thank you as well to all the viewers. Yes. Every single one of you who is watching this pre-recorded live show, as well as those watching the rebroadcast. Whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comment section below. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button and follow us on our social media platforms. It's at Double Touch Show on both Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget as well, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of June of this year, and your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget, as KaiR always says,
but I can only show you the door.
Just don't be behind that door and end up looking like this.
Is that Brett? Hey guys, let's have.
I don't know who that is. It could be someone we talked about during this show. I don't know.
So remember the disclaimer, guys. At the beginning of the show.
Say any names.
Let's have so you're objectifying as well. Let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section below, guys. Remember to stay civil. With that being said, we'll see each other in the next show. Take care. Peace.